first thing started. So I just wanted to bring this idea up for my family here.
Good work, brother.
See how well you all receive it.
Good work,
Thank you very much.
Let's hear it. Have a question, brother.
You should not just think in just of 4 or 5 units. There are 30-unit buildings. The city may even have to sell. There are 40-unit buildings. And if we are truly, a nationalist organization as we are, and we have folks who need employment. So if you're able to find such a building, putting a few of our people together, black people, African people, not white people,
no, we're not.
You should also consider that.
Oh, definitely.
So I guess what I'm hearing from Brother Bekwe, I'm hearing that he's telling you that he's going to be the first person on that list. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I was just about to say that the bond on a building, like a $30,000, I mean, I know a little bit about real estate. The bond on a 30-unit building is a whole lot greater than a 5 or 7 unit.
That's what the thing is, to start off pragmatically, small where we are. The thing is, I'm going to start where we can be right now. Get it started. Basically, once you have that 5 or 7 in, and you're saving that money up to say start a taxi cab company.
Right.
And we all know how well taxis do in this city, especially if it's cooperatively owned. I just met a brother today, and he met a cab driver. He met a cab driver today who thought she was on top of the world because she's paying $1,700 a month. Yikes. Well, she can easily pay that because cab drivers make that kind of money. She's getting a second cab. This is a way to segue into other businesses that we can do cooperatively well. So we have a cab company that we split the profits of that. And if a cab driver in this city is easily able to pay $1,700 a month, imagine what a black first cab driver can do if he's only paying or she's only paying $860 or $430 a month with the extra money they save from that. So this is an economic snowball effect. We take the monies we save and build on that and build on that. And before you know it, we're building complexes.
So you start small.
We start small and we save up. That's how everyone talks about when groups of immigrants come into this country, how they're would all pile into one small apartment to save up their, well, I'm not piling anybody up in a small apartment. Everyone's going to have their own comfortable space. However, it runs on that same concept of cooperative economics, more importantly, community building. There's another element to this. Imagine for my younger brothers and sisters who woke up to this philosophy, you go home and everyone in your family doesn't understand what you're talking about. No one understands racism, white supremacy. You're the only one in amongst a million who understand this. And the only time you get this kind of food is when you come to a place like this. Now imagine going home to a place where you have 6, 7 other brothers who understand, or sisters who understand what you're going through. So you get that soul food, so to speak, and you re-energize to go back out the next day. So you get that, that community.
Versus the hood. Word.
Exactly.
Word.
This is that community we gain. Right now, right here, we're getting this community. And what's going to happen, when this is all over, we're going to disperse to our separate sections of the city. If we're lucky, we have 1 or 2 other brothers or sisters we can be in contact with, who understand this, where we can fight in with. At the end of it, most of us aren't so lucky. We have to go to a job, or we have to deal with racism, white supremacy. We have to let that stew in our minds. And before you know it, we're so exhausted from this experience that we can barely, though we want to be a part of something great and do so much great, we're so exhausted. This is another way of segueing and sort of handling that. So you can come back from your employment of whatever racist, white supremacist empire you have to get your check from. You be amongst family, and most important, your energies are built up so you can actually go to building that collective business or that personal business where you can break free. And more importantly, as you are building your business and building your economic base, when we go out to the college campuses or into the streets to meet our other younger brothers, we'll be able to come to them and say, listen, someone else can speak a good game to you, but we can get you affordable housing. We got a company you can work for. And that's one thing to speak to somebody's intellect. There's another thing to speak to someone's needs.
Facts.
Because when you speak to someone's needs, they become loyal to what you believe in, and they become loyal to what you're putting out. That's how the Nation of Islam got as big as they did. Because in the time when they rose up, and that's how the UNIA this peak got as big as it did. But in the time when they rose up, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he had his own stores. And best believe, one of the things I want to do, with this segue into, one of the things we're all going to say before is we're going to have a chain of bodegas and grocery stores that we're going to take them back. we're going to build all that back.
And it starts,
Of course.
to get goods from our country
Of course.
around the world to come and deliver their goods.
Exactly. I'm going even further than that. Not only are we going to have change of stores, but we're going to have distributors by which all those stores put their orders into that distributor, so we don't have to actually go the whole Black First route in terms of convincing our people to shop them. We'll be able to undercut the people in our communities who are robbing our communities. We'll cut them out on price, on that alone. And when the people come into those stores and realize the service and love they get from their people, that's just a bonus on top of it. So this is a way of taking back the economics. And
we have something that we do like that. We deal with Black farmers. What we do, we go to them and we pool our money and get the products from them and bring it and sell it to the believers in the mosque.
Yep.
Now these are Black farmers, they're not white farmers.
Exactly.
So if we, like I keep saying, if we would just unite and quantify what we're doing, we'd be okay.
Yep.
Because we do have farms.
yeah.
Of course.
The problem is what we went through during history, how they had us dying on those plantations. When Black folks left the South, they didn't want to have nothing to do with no land.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So now we have to reorientate our people's mind back towards the land, because without the land, we don't have no freedom.
And it comes down to economics, and I'm going to tell you how serious economics actually is. We're at a time period when we're supposed to be out the door, and since we don't own our own building as yet, we have to abide by the time factor, but economics is everything.
Yes.
Economics, Garvey said, there's no Black power,
What else?
there's no Black freedom until we have Black, keyword, group, economics.
Exactly.
That's why we're stressing that we do it organically, group-wise. In 1916, a lady from the Garvey movement said, being a part of the movement and what I own, I feel like I own half of the world. And I didn't own the next half because I didn't want it. We can do the same thing here again. Now we're going to move into the raffle. May I have the tickets?
Well, thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, and well said. And we're going to work on that.